In the seconds after the courtyard doors swing open, several things happen one after the other. Escher, victorious but despondent, knowing what comes next from here, does the only thing he can think of in a moment of desperation. He shuts his eyes, and he prays to Lathander for help. Nyla, a surge of panic lancing through her chest, falls back to old habits before she can stop herself. A shadowy surge of magic, a swallowed breath, and she vanishes in the well-manicured garden, out of sight as 24 armed guards close around her friends. Salvador, before anyone can stop him, places his hands on the bodies of the fallen dragons, and with a surge of healing magic, casts Spare the Dying. Ember.
Hello.
It is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay. You've completed all your yardly duties for the day.
That's good, because I was about to say I'm in the garden, but okay.
Yeah, it's 3 p.m. You finished all of them. What does Ember do without, like, his husband's not around, he doesn't have any more yard work to do?
I think he's bothering Vasha. Oh. Like, I think he's being a pain in the ass, because he's still pretty upset and stressed out about the whole situation with Mordenkainen, and his husband's gone. It's been a bad year. So he's, I think he's in, Vasha, pestering about him about, dinner tonight.
Vasha, where are you then?
It's just gonna be like, well, Ember goes to see Vasha, who's hanging out with Baku.
The only reason that you get away with this is because Vasha understands, and Vasha's dealing with the same crap, but they
can't foist you off on your husband as Escher's not here.
Nope. Yeah, so Vasha, I guess, is apparently making dinner, because that's the thing that they do.
Alright, so you're in the kitchen. I imagine Ember is, talking a mile a minute about random bullshit.
Yes, absolutely.
And just making a nuisance of himself, generally speaking.
Ember's talking about there's, a herd of deer that have been eating his tomatoes, and he's like, and I've told you, Vasha, a million times. I just said, could you get the deer off my property? And I don't know what's going on here. I want to have tomatoes that are free of deer. Is that too much to ask for?
Do you not understand that deer make babies?
A rabbit runs by with a tomato in its mouth.
I read the concept. Oh god, it's actually the rabbits.
Vasha's like, I don't understand. I looked for deer and I didn't see any.
This is canon now. This is all canon.
Yes.
As you are talking in the kitchen, from behind you, toward the corner, the room is suddenly flooded with golden light.
Lathander?
You turn around, and it is not Lathander, but I would like you to make a religion check, Ember and Vasha, since I wasn't expecting Vasha to be here, but I guess this is...
You're like, okay, I guess.
This is what we're working with
Vasha's
now.
character sheet.
Okay, wait,
Cool.
I have to pull the character sheets real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. The DC was not very high, so this is kind of excessive.
Right.
But it's
He's
Ember,
just, very into
so
it.
I mean, it's Ember. He's
Right.
He is the religious.
That's true. So yeah, with a 16 and a 24, yes, it does not take you long to recognize it. Standing in your kitchen, which seems a little unbecoming for a creature of its stature, and the creature that you are looking at is a planetar. It is one of the highest ranks of angels from the upper planes. It has a flaming sword, but it's lowered at its side in a non-threatening way. And he comes forward toward you and he says, Lord Tremaine.
That's me. My name's on the door.
The planetar seems a little confused. He doesn't use doors. He's basically, he's 3 or 4 steps below godhood. He does not.
He's like, what's a door?
He says, I come bearing word from your husband, whose frantic prayers I heard.
Ember immediately goes his hand goes for his sword, which he doesn't have on him, but he does it anyway. And he looks up and he goes,
"What's happened?
Where is he? What did he do now?"
What did he do? I think that's the immediate reaction. He says, he has been unjustly taken prisoner in Waterdeep.
Ember's packing up his stuff.
Immediately leaves Vasha to
The Planetar's he requests your... Oh, you're already leaving.
I turn, at the door, I remember the Planetar's still there. I turn around and I'm like, "Hi, thank you for your assistance. I will put in a word with Lathander for you." And
the Planetar looks a little bit confused. He says, "All right, do you..." It's like he was expecting you to ask more questions, but you're just leaving.
This
is why Vasha's here.
Where is he being held?
Waterdeep. Where does it matter where? Oh wait. Oh, okay.
Waterdeep is quite a large city. Yes. The Planetar gives you the location of of one of the larger jails in the city, in the lower area of the city, and he says that, this. I hope you understand. This normally isn't in the purview of a Planetar, but I don't know if you've caught on yet, but you and everyone in your party are heroes to everyone on the upper planes. The Morning Lord has already ordered that when you die, your spirits will be elevated to sainthood. So there's not an angel from Arcadia to Isgard who wouldn't jump at the chance to answer your prayers. So
Ember gets this insufferable fucking look on his face.
Vasha smacks you.
Good.
Ow. Thank you.
Stay
Thank you
grounded.
for bearing this news. It is we greatly appreciate it. It's always nice to know we have Ember as somebody, or Escher as somebody, to get him out of trouble whenever he ends up in situations like this again.
He inclines his head he honestly he was expecting to have to do this for you to Escher first, but he does not say so. He disappears in this shimmer of golden light. Are you both gonna go, or is it just gonna be Ember?
I mean, Ember's definitely going.
Well, Ember's going, irrespective of whether Vasha goes.
Right.
I feel like Vasha probably should go, just because I know how Ember can get.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Good call.
I am offended!
Alright, so both of you make your way to Waterdeep. Nyla, you managed to escape capture. Where do you go as your friends are being hauled off?
Oh god.
Yeah, you didn't think about that,
well,
did you? You're now separated from the plot.
I did not. Nope, absolutely not. I was 100% convinced you weren't going to let me do it, to be honest, so...
I told myself I'd give you, I'd let
okay.
you roll for it, so... And you
No, it's
rolled a
fair.
27, so...
And actually, this isn't totally in character with Nyla, so I think she's, panting in an alleyway, trying to, stay deathly still, and she's, congratulating herself on, I'm so stealthy, I got away, I'm amazing, God, I'm so good. And then she realizes, oh, shit. So she's gonna look around. I'm assuming she's, outside the palace at this point, she escaped the big...
Yes, you were outside the palace where the Starlight Jamboree was being hosted not that long ago. And
Okay.
you look over your shoulder just in time to see all of your friends being hauled away with their arms behind their back in shackles.
She's gonna... look towards, the edge of the city, and then she's gonna try to stealthily follow them to where they're being taken.
All right. You follow them away, and then I would like to finally cut to the prison. What is left of the party, which is to say Selwyn and Ariazes and Escher and Salvador, you are divided along gender lines because something bureaucracy. You are each in a different holding cell, but the holding cells are right across from each other, so you can very easily see each other and speak if you need to. Escher has been praying quietly since you all were hauled off. What are the others doing?
You ready, Val? You ready?
No!
We gonna fight. Let's go.
Okay. Alright, I don't look at you the entire time. We're escorted in. Yeah, there's just all kinds of crazy going on. I sink onto a bench and just wait until we're more fully alone.
Salvador has been trying over and over again to talk to the guards, like, no, it's really fine, we didn't do anything wrong. But of course, that argument hasn't been working. There's a castle full of very angry noble people who want to blame someone for the dragon attack that happened in the courtyard, and y'all are the convenient scapegoats. And Salvador keeps saying, he's like, no, you see, it's really fine. Like, I'm the son of Duke Porter, and this is the husband of Lord Ember Tremaine. And the guard who locks the door behind all of you says, oh, right. And I'm the Queen of Waterdeep. And he leaves. Salvador's like, wow, this place sucks.
Poor babe.
So a few minutes later, when there's no other guards or anybody, Selwyn just very, very quietly in Elvish says, "You're a fucking hypocrite."
What?
All of this veiled disgust over my love for the Raven Queen, over my capacity for being able to share my love, and this whole time you've been pining over a fucking Arcanoloth?
Ariazes doesn't say anything.
Salvador looks nervous. He's wringing his hands around the bars. Guys.
Selwyn doesn't acknowledge him. Are you really that stupid? That desperate?
Ariazes grits her teeth. You don't understand. She's struggling to remain calm. All your life, you've been surrounded by family and friends. I had no one except Qatar.
Selwyn bristles. That's a good enough justification to fuck a demon?
Whoa, okay, guys. Let's settle down.
Ariazes also doesn't acknowledge him and bristles right back. A goddess is infinitely more powerful than an Arcanoloth. Infinitely more dangerous. The Raven Queen seems to be on our side for now, but what happens if she turns against us? I guarantee it won't go as well as it went with Shmeshka, and that almost destroyed me.
Selwyn flinches internally at the name, but she tries not to let on. I don't know what you were expecting, Ariazes. Demons don't make good fuck buddies.
Ariazes bares her teeth. The undead don't make good friends, but that doesn't stop you.
Fuck you!
Guys, please, let's just...
You do not get a say in matters of my heart. You lost that right after I ripped it out of my chest for you, and you just stood there in silence. My soul's tied to the Raven Queen, like it or not. I can't turn off how I feel about her any more than I can for you. Gods, I wish I could. Loving you has been the most miserable experience of my life.
Ariazes' face betrays a lot of emotions at once. Confusion, anger, frustration, sadness. Miserable?
At first I thought it was kind of charming, how oblivious you were to all of my overtures. Now I think I'm starting to get the full context. It's not that you didn't understand my advances. It's that all your fucking baggage and your emotional damage just refused to let you acknowledge it. You'd rather stew in your self-pity and misery than make a genuine connection with another person.
Ariazes' throat is so tight that she can't answer.
Salvador's throat is tight too, but he manages to speak. Selwyn, that's awful mean.
Selwyn keeps talking like she didn't even hear him. You gave Nihilus so much shit about only caring about the money, but you haven't exactly been a paragon of virtue either. You needed just as much convincing to do the objectively right thing. Outside that temple, in Evernight, never mind how cruel and dismissive you've been to me.
Guys, stop. This really isn't helping nothing.
So go ahead and keep on pretending that none of this matters, Ariazes. Keep on hiding inside your own self-hatred. Go back to being miserable, alone in your swamp like your father.
The air around Ariazes starts to warp suddenly from heat. Her eyes are suddenly glowing like hellfire.
Do not bring him into this.
Guys, stop it! This isn't what friends are supposed to do. Selwyn, I know you're angry, but you can't let that be an excuse to be cruel to someone you care about.
Selwyn flinches.
And Ariazes... Salvador hesitates.
Ariazes looks at him. Her eyes are hard.
Sal grimaces at the sight of it. Not that she wasn't being mean about it or nothing, but maybe she's not completely... Look, ain't no one here, there, or anywhere who never made a mistake, but ain't it better to measure a person by how they grow from those mistakes, not the mistakes themselves?
Ariazi swallows the knot in her throat. Selwyn, I'm sorry if I hurt you. If I was callous to you, it had nothing to do with you and everything to do with me. I didn't want to see you repeat my mistakes. I could never find you disgusting. She's thinking, or to be more accurate, trying not to think about all the baggage she's assigned to that word, trying not to think about how many times the children in the High Forest use it against her. You know that, right? On instinct, she reaches out to Selwyn.
Selwyn slaps the hand away immediately and turns to face the wall instead.
Ariazi reels back a step, stricken.
I'm not interested in apologies, Selwyn hisses. If you want to make it better, then be better.
Whoa, that was an emotion. That was a roller coaster of emotion.
Thanks. It took us 2 weeks.
I am living that Jon Stewart gif I posted on tabletop. That is completely me right now.
Popcorn.
Shoveling popcorn frantically into my mouth. Nyla, you have tracked your friends to the proper location. It is swarmed with city guards.
Okay, so I know where they are.
You do? Yeah, well, I mean, you don't know specifically where in the building they are, but you know the building.
But at least know the building they're in. Okay, I think seeing that, I'm going to go back and get my stuff, because I know where they are for the minute anyways, and I don't want to, it's swarmed, I can't go in and do anything right now, so I'm going to go back and get all my gear so that I'm not, going into disadvantage.
Okay. In that case, let's give you a minute and cut back to the tableau is inside the jail. Escher finally stops praying, and he looks up and around, and he you're in cells that are just across the hallway from each other. So when he finally loses his concentration and looks up, he sees the two of you sulking on opposite sides of the cell, and he looks at Salvador and is like, "What the fuck did I miss?" And Salvador's like, "Honestly, I don't think I'm emotionally ready to talk about it yet." And Salvador's like, "What the were you involved?" "No, but that's not the point." Escher's like, "God, you have way too much empathy." He stands up and he goes to the bars and he's like, "Ladies?"
I look up slowly.
"Y'all right?"
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's cool.
Okay, because it doesn't look or sound or in any way resemble that.
Can't do anything about it now.
Cool. Escher sits back down and Salvador's like, "Aren't you going to say anything?" And Escher's like, I don't think this is the kind of thing where you can fix it by talking, Salvador. As
Sal doesn't understand those words.
Can't fix by talking? Unheard of. You hear some consternation from the far end of the hallway, and a couple of the guards that were around you head down and away to the very far end, where they try to break up a scuffle happening in one of the other cells. And as they do, there is a small pop directly in front of your cage, and standing in front of you is Shemeshka the Arcanoloth, leaning easily against the bars of your cell, Selwyn and Ariazi's. Briefly, as you both simultaneously launch yourselves toward the bars to try to grab her, she disappears in a slight twist of magic and reappears in the center of the hallway, and she says, "Ooh, so tasty."
What are you doing here?
"I'm here to make you miserable."
Oh, you don't have to be here for that.
That's good to know. It's good to know that after so many years, you're still vulnerable to me, Ari.
She twitches at the nickname.
It's so good to know that I don't even have to be in the same plane of existence as you to make you miserable. What tremendous power that affords me.
You're right. It does. And maybe I'm tired of that.
Being tired of it hasn't helped you so far. No, I think you're going to be exactly the same person you've always been. You're going to be miserable for the rest of your life over me. And as a demon, that does delight me to no end.
She doesn't reply.
Yeah. Selwyn's just like, brain is shorting out of anger. She can't even come up with anything snappy to say.
Salvador, actually wouldn't be Salvador. Escher, stands up and he says, Shemeshka, this really isn't a good time. And Shemeshka's like, oh, I don't care if it's a good time or not, my dear. She says, I'm here to bargain with you.
Yeah, like we'd want that.
Oh, you won't want any help getting out of the city prison. You won't want any information, anything that I might know about my dealings with the cult of Bashaba. You don't want to know about the third golem that's coming your way right now. You don't want to know anything about that.
What's your price?
She approaches the bars again. She's looking directly at Ariazis. My price never changes, dear.
So, my blood again, is it?
One file per question. I'll answer as many as you like, provided you have the blood to pay.
You don't have to do this.
Oh, I'm not going to.
Oh, all right, then I suppose I can just go and leave you to your fate, not knowing anything or gaining any important answers you set out to seek.
Like, grimaces and, like, looks to the others, like, not at Selwyn, but to the others, like, any help?
Escher is the first to step forward. He says, name another price, Shemeshka. You know the connections I have. I can get you pretty much anything you need. Shemeshka turns toward him and he says, I'm not interested in anything you light slingers have to offer, she says sort of dismissively at the two clerics. She says, you see, clerics are a dime a dozen, but tieflings. She turns to face Ariazis again. She sort of leans demurely against the bars and she says, ever since a certain party destroyed the 9 hells, devils have been in very rare supply. Devilish blood has become a very hot commodity.
Then why should I give it to you?
Because if you don't, you won't learn anything.
This time she's gonna look at Selwyn like,
Selwyn thinks this is a terrible fucking idea, but also has no way of knowing what happened with Nyla. If Nyla's coming back, like, she hopes she is, but she doesn't know.
This time it's Salvador's turn to stand up. He says, I'll take something from me instead, he says. Whatever you want, whatever, I don't know how much I can offer you. Shemeshka kind of sighs and she finally turns and looks at him. She says, I don't know how many times I have to... Well, actually, now that you mention it. She crosses the hallway and inspects Salvador a little more closely. And... No, here's the thing. There is something quite large and deadly coming to capture you and kill your friends, but there's a very decent chance that it's not going to succeed, as it hasn't before. So how about this? Either I can take a vial of your blood and answer by the original parameters of the deal, or I can take this little cleric off your hands, and I'll answer any questions you want.
That's
You're not
worse.
taking him.
All right, then the blood it is, or I can just leave. I'm getting very impatient with this little morality play, so please make up your mind quickly.
I look over at Ariazis and it's, yeah. I'm still mad, but, like, there's not much we can do.
Or is there? One wonders. Ariazi's, like, you know, her staff is on the floor. She picks it up and, like, brushes it off.
No one knows what the staff does because you haven't told anyone because you've never used it.
You've never used it. She's like, no, I think that you can leave. That seems to be the best offer for us.
Or I could just take the cleric now. After all, I really don't care what you have to say.
You would have to fight us first. We won't let you take him.
Yeah, you seem to be at somewhat of a disadvantage is the fact that you can't move. Oh, also I am an extremely powerful trade prince. There's that as well.
Alright, I know that already, but, you know.
It doesn't seem to have really settled in, though.
Anyway, so I guess that now is a good time to explain
Yeah, no kidding.
the
Like,
thing.
what's your plan here?
The problem is that Shemeshka is there, and she wants to explain the staff that she's never actually used. Just heard from her dad. That's the problem here.
Okay.
Well, now would be the time to explain if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I guess now's the time. She just didn't want to do it with Shmeshka there, but yeah. So she like.
I don't think we have an option if we want to
Right,
keep
exactly.
Sal.
Right. So she like, she's holding the staff, and now like if you look at it, you can see that there are like 3 white flowers. Maybe they're red. I forgot what color they are. Who cares?
I said they're
We'll say
white.
they're red.
I said they're white, but I don't care. It's not. It's like.
Right. Okay. Right. There are 3 flowers on there, and you can see that she's like staring at them intently. And like, this staff was given to me by my father, and he told me that each of these flowers will answer a question honestly. I've never used it before, but...
Yes. Yes, I suppose that would work. You only have 3 questions then, and you're willing to use all of this magic.
We don't need to use all 3 right now.
Oh, I'm sure you can think of more than 3 questions. Here's a list of things that I know. She starts ticking things off on her fingers. I know the names of everyone under whom I am on contract. I know what the details of that contract are. She says, I know the thing that's coming to kill you right now. I know the location of the Doom Master and most of her high-ranking subordinates. And finally, she looks back at Salvador and she says, and I know everything he's forgotten.
Oh.
Selwyn just blanches and looks over at the other 2.
Salvador, he looks kind of hesitant. Like, you can tell he has this, like, knee-jerk self-sacrificing instinct. Like, he's, like, half a second away from saying, okay, just take me instead, and, instead of taking her blood. But then he's like, oh, but then I won't be around to heal you in case you get hurt again. And that's literally the only thing stopping him.
Ariazi sort of, she looks at Sal, and then glares back at Shmeshka, and then, fine, what's the difference between now and then, anyway? And she, like, puts her arm out. Take it.
Salvador sits forward, he's like, Ariazis, are you sure? This seems kind of not good.
If I don't, I feel like she'll always have power over me.
She chuckles and steps forward, and she says, my dear, I'll have power over you no matter what you do. She draws one long finger down the underside of your forearm, and conjured in her palm as she does it is a small glass vial full of devilish blood, which is red like most blood, but very, very unnaturally dark red. She holds it up to the light and inspects it thoughtfully, and you can see Escher in the background kind of grimacing like... And she says, all right, 1 question for 1 vial. What do you want to ask first?
Ariazi's like looks around like, anybody?
Okay, so just out of character, options that she had listed were names of her contacts, details of the contracts, what's coming for us now, which seems the most pressing, the location of the Doom Master and her subordinates, which would also be really good, and everything Sal has ever forgotten.
And you do have Escher now, and he has not used his 9th level spell slot yet, technically.
Right.
So...
And we've determined that he did actually have Dispel Magic prepared.
Yep, whoops!
Whoops!
And even if he hadn't, it only takes like 10 minutes to prepare a spell, so...
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that one is lowest on the totem pole right now.
And, you're not just limited to those questions. If you have another question you think she might be able to answer that she hasn't mentioned, feel free to bring that one up. And Amber, just because you're not physically here, that doesn't mean you can't, like, help out of character, to be clear.
Mm-hmm.
Right, to be clear, is it, like, specifically, like, only Ariazis can ask the question because it's her blood, or anybody can?
No, anyone in your party can.
Okay.
She just wants the blood.
Right.
My personal vote is that we should ask her what we came to find out.
Was the...
Contacts? The contracts?
We were trying to find out where the Doom Master was, I think.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That first, she's already let slip that another golem is coming our way, so how many types of golems are there? Alright.
I mean, we can always fight a golem, that's fine. We've done it before, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that sort of hubris has never gotten anyone killed.
Right, exactly. It's not like we're, trapped in a dungeon or anything, or shackled, it's fine.
I'm gonna get you out!
Yeah, will you make it in time?
I don't know.
Okay,
right, yeah,
so
that's the most pressing, is that there's an
location
enemy
of Doom
coming.
Master is the first, then what's coming, or what's coming, then Doom Master?
The more pressing, the what's coming.
Okay.
And then the Doom Master, yeah. But I mean, just think about how much blood I gotta give, so...
Who wants to ask?
I suppose Ariazis can.
I do. Nyla pops out of the notebook.
I was like, no, you don't. Shut up. So she, like, you know, she kind of looks like she's used to it, which could probably be a little alarming for anybody watching, like, whatever. She just, like, leaves her arm out, like, okay, is it done? All right, cool. And is like, all right, tell us what is coming.
She kind of sighs like, oh yes, you would go for the boring question, wouldn't you? She says, an iron golem. It's about 17, 18 feet tall, made of pure metal. And it can also breathe poisonous gas, so I suppose be ready for that. You know, that's not the interesting question.
Why
No,
did I
really?
start with the interesting first?
Because you didn't ask the interesting question first.
She makes a valid point.
Okay, and then what was next? Oh yeah, where's the Doom? That's more blood.
Yeah, I think the interesting question she's trying to lead us to is why does she know everything Sal's forgotten? But I'm not going to ask that.
Yeah.
She says, if you want to ask another question, you know the price.
Also, how much do each of these files hold? Because like a file of blood is like what you give when you're like being blood tested. So that's not like
No, it's
objectively a lot of blood.
That's true, it's not objectively a lot of blood, but devilish blood has skyrocketed in value since the Nine Hells collapsed. So, one little file.
I just mean that like you won't faint from blood.
Yeah.
in that
Yes,
amount of-
there's not going to be any physical or mechanical penalty for you giving up your blood.
Right.
Just we know that it'll come and bite us in the ass later.
You know,
When have I
fine.
ever done that? Except
know,
from
last
literally
session.
last session.
Baku has no idea. It's fine. It's fine. But Asher's never going to tell them, so it's okay. They'll never know. All right. So, does somebody else want to ask about? She's like looking around, like other questions.
We should ask about the Doom Master. That's what we came here to find out.
That's true.
She
Like,
says,
she
you
holds
know
up.
the price.
She rolls her eyes and holds out her arm again.
One more time, she draws her finger down your forearm, collects a little vial of blood, and she says, again, not the interesting question, but yes, I can tell you where Drolana Nightlock is. Currently, she is in Cair Westfall. She says, really not the interesting question. Would you like a hint?
Sure, fine.
She says, the interesting question is not where is the Doom Master or any of those obvious questions. The interesting question is who I'm under contract with and what am I under contract to do. Because I guarantee you my contract is not with the Cult of Bashaba.
So Ariazis like looks at the others like, how much more blood do I have to give?
You can see Shemeshka just that big jackal smile.
Are we all okay with that question? Like, before she gives her arm again, she's like,
So I was like, it feels like a bad idea. You keep giving her blood and everything. Maybe it's better off we don't know.
Is that something that we can find out through your staff?
Yes, you can ask any truthful question of Lishika.
it's any truth. Like,
There were 2 questions.
we could ask my staff. Like, we don't have to ask her, but we have to be very specific, and also, she knows she could give more detail. But
Will
still.
she though?
Yeah, exactly. That's what, like, she's trying to, Ariazis is trying to apply, like, will she tell the whole truth? Like,
Yeah, like she won't. So
You do know, from knowing Shemeshka, you know that she keeps to any promises she makes. Like, sometimes she doesn't, like, always inherit or she doesn't always honor the full spirit of an agreement, but she definitely follows it to the letter. So if you are very, very exact in your questions, you are very confident that she will answer you truthfully. Arcana loss, like, it's not even so much Arcana loss, it's really more just, like, the nature of her as a trade prince. Like, the most powerful thing she has is her word.
yeah. So she'd, like, look at Selwyn and the boys on the other side, like, well, you have to be very careful about how you ask it.
Salvador says, Ariazis, I'm just not sure this is a good idea. I don't want you to have to give up any more blood to evil Arcanoloth, even if she is your ex-girlfriend.
Especially.
Yeah, especially if.
Shemeshka says, say the word and I'll leave now. I've already made quite a bit of profit from these exchanges alone, and these very boring questions.
Yeah, I mean, Selwyn is not going to offer up Ariazi's blood. Like, it's her blood. This is massively important information, but...
Right. And a literal connection to her. Literally blood. Last time it was scales, this time it's blood. Actual blood.
I just like taking pieces of Kay's characters. And
I
just having them.
seriously, I was like, why is it always me that's the bargaining chip?
I feel like, so, like, I'm not fair. I feel like we should ask her one of them. Like, if you've got the staff, we can ask other things to the staff, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's one more?
3 is a nice round number.
3 is a nice round number. The chaotic neutral comes out, even though she's not even here.
How much do you really even need your blood?
Right, I mean, like, do you even need that blood? Like, come on. Yeah, I'm gonna say at least for Ariazi's, like, she's, like, 2 is pretty much, like, enough. She's had enough of this, but if anybody else is, like, has a burning question, like, then she'll offer up one more time, but, like, after that, that's it.
Yeah, no, 3 is obviously the limit, no matter what.
Ask her who the contract is. We can figure out.
Well, I was gonna say Selwyn is gonna ask again. Is there no other price?
She thinks about it for a minute, and she says, do you have something to offer? It would have to be a good one. To be clear, it can be like a physical thing that you have. It can be an ability. It could also be something like, I give up, a point of my constitution or something like that. As long as the offer satisfies her, she will take it.
Yep.
If Nyla were here, Ariaz would be like, we offer this halfling.
No. Mean.
Salvador finally perks up and he says, all right, I don't want Ariazis to give any more of her blood. So he pulls off his holy symbol, which he hasn't, you've seen it, of course. You've seen him use it and everything. It is a large hollowed out gem made of glass that is filled with clear water. It is set on gold, worn around his right index finger usually. He says, here, just take this. Shemeshka turns to the cell across the way, and she sort of leans forward and eyes it. She's like, I'm not even sure I could touch it, although that water inside that gem certainly is interesting. He says, I know it's valuable enough, just take it. Stop tormenting Ariazis.
Sal, that's important to you.
So is your blood.
I've done this 1,000 times before.
That doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to be the only one to sacrifice something. Shemeshka looks very bored with this. Like, am I taking the ring or am I taking more blood? I'm getting very bored.
I guess it's yours to give.
Don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of a mechanical way that, like, I was looking at, like, could I give up?
Yeah, things that they can give up, like a point of this, a point of that.
You could give up anything on your feat list as well. That would also be fine. It can be very abstract. She's an Arcanoloth. She deals in abstractions.
Well, one of the things I was wondering is if I could give up maybe my dark vision or something else that's like tied to the elven race.
Shemeshka already has dark vision. So she's not super interested in that. You could tie dark vision in with another minor feat that you don't want or that you're willing to part with. But not just dark vision, no.
Yeah.
So it's ring or blood.
Or something else. You could be creative.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm trying to.
I'm looking at my feats list too, and I'm like,
I think the problem is that Val doesn't want to give up anything actually valuable.
Hey.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, dark vision's not isn't super valuable.
I
mean, like, the only other things that I have, I've never used. Like, I've never used Grim Harvest, so it doesn't do anything to give that up. It doesn't, do anything to give up my ability to copy necromancy spells faster or anything. Like,
It does not have to be a feat.
I can't find anything, so I'm just gonna be like, all right.
I could give up a point of intelligence.
Yeah, we
Do
could give
it.
up. Yeah, exactly.
A point of intelligence. Shemeshka doesn't seem to hate that idea. She says, perhaps. And Salvador's like, so wait, you're at least part lizard. You need that intelligence.
You also need your holy symbol, so.
I can get another holy symbol. It's all right. And Shemeshka says, not like that one. You can't.
Yeah, I would say do not
Anything
let
is
him
better.
get-
Anything is better than having Ariazis give up more to this bitch.
She kind of gives you like a sad, sympathetic smile.
Shemeshka puts a paw over her chest like, hurtful.
And then Ariazi's mouth, you can't hurt her, she has no heart.
Salvador just sticks his hand through the bar. He's like, just take it. And unless someone is going to speak up pretty soon, Shemeshka's going to take his holy symbol.
I'm not there, but don't let him take. God knows what's in that holy symbol. It's probably
Yeah, I
important.
know.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking too.
It could
I
be
know.
like we're gonna find out as soon as she takes it that it's super important.
Right.
I know.
It's the only thing he has from his past.
Yeah.
So Ariazi's like, what about my charisma, maybe? Something that's not my blood, for once? Let's get spicy.
You've given enough. You've given enough. I'll make this deal with you.
Shemeshka just looks so bored. It's like, oh god, it's going to be just this constant contest, isn't it?
What more could you wish for than some of the intellect of someone else who loves Ariazis?
I don't give a toss about love, dear.
Yes, but imagine how much it hurts me to give it to you.
1 point of intelligence and 1 point of strength.
Ugh.
Final offer, I'm taking his ring.
Fine!
All right. She approaches the bar and she holds her hand out as if to take yours.
I shove it through the bars.
She grips your hand. She has, like, toe pads on her fingers.
Yeah.
Weirdly
Worst
warm.
toe beans ever.
Weirdly warm, and her fur is very soft. It should not be this soft. It's distressing. But you can feel a little bit of your strength and a little bit of your intelligence sap away. And your strength shouldn't affect too much, but that intelligence is going to hurt a lot.
Yep.
That's going to take away from your spell save DC. That's going to probably take away from your spell attack bonus, I think.
Yep.
All right. Salvador does not look happy. But finally... and then she finally draws her hand away and she says, yes, this will be put to very good use, I promise you, my dear. Now, which question did you want to ask? Think about it slowly, you're a little bit stupider now.
Ariazi's like hisses. Like... You're asking about the contracts, right?
Yeah,
Your options were, who is your contract with and what were you under contract to do?
I think what she's under contract to do is slightly
that's a
more
good
important.
idea.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I feel too.
All right. She smiles sort of grimly and she says, finally, an interesting question. What was I under contract to do? Well, several things. She turns and she gestures to Salvador and she says, I was asked to get a child out of that one, a process complicated only marginally by the fact that he doesn't like women. But don't worry, I've already come up with some contingencies after you murdered that succubus in the palace. She says, I've also been helping the non-magical creation of constructs. Quite resourceful, this cult. Even when their goddess won't give them magic, they find ways to obey her will. Such a pity you didn't go for the really interesting question. She says, anyway, will that be all?
Find it extraordinarily hard to believe you only have 2 contracts.
To do. It was what she was contracted to do.
That is precisely what I was contracted to do. Now, the one that I have a contract with, his deals are a little more interesting.
Did she say his?
Yeah, she
Yep,
sure did.
Interesting.
Yep, that's all for... Yeah, Ariazis has no further questions. Like, you can go.
She says, very well. Thank you, dear, for the blood. This is going to fetch quite a high price with certain buyers.
She makes a face.
And just like that, she pops out of existence. Just as the guards finally break up the fight at the other end of the hallway and come marching back down. They did not even notice she was here. Nyla! You ran all the way back, like... I was not anticipating you to actually roll so well, so I had kind of, like... This is the reason that you weren't and you haven't been very involved in this episode so far. But
That's
you
fair.
you go back to the Silent Shield, you get your crap, and then you make your way back to the jail. And
Awesome.
yep, everything seems about right. Swarming with guards. It is a jail, after all. It's very tightly guarded. What do you want to do?
Okay, so, there's guards all over, but there has to be, like, a door to get into there, right?
Yes, there is one rather large door.
Okay, and let's see here.
They are currently standing open because people are constantly going in and out.
People are walking in and out of it. So the guards, are they wearing, like, a uniform?
They are, yes.
Okay. That's the best way to do this. I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
Okay. You cast invisibility on yourself. How long does invisibility last?
But, 1 hour.
An hour. Okay. You are now invisible. What do you want to do?
I'm gonna try to walk into the jail.
As you walk into the jail, stealthily avoiding everyone else, you pass Shemeshka in the hallway. She sees you and she waves at you. You are both invisible and in the ethereal plane, so you can see each other.
Great.
I stare with my mouth open.
She winks.
I think I, like, back up against a wall and I just, like, freeze, like, trying to, like, maybe if I don't move, she won't notice.
She's a velociraptor. Her vision is based
Right,
on
exactly.
No, she does not seem to be very interested in fighting you. She just walks right past and leaves.
I do that double, like, that thing where you just, like, watch someone leave until they're, like, completely out the door, like, unmoving. And then she's, okay, you're safe, Nyla, you can do this.
So you find your friends pretty easily. Like, they're not in, like, any special cell or anything. They're just on opposite sides of the hallway.
Yeah.
If you end your invisibility spell, the guards that are patrolling up and down the corridor are for sure going to notice.
Yep. I think I go over there, and so is there anybody within earshot of the cells at the moment?
I mean, they can all hear you. But, it might take some people off guard of a disembodied voice from the middle of the hallway. And invisible is not intangible.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna, like, try to wait until the guards are, like, at the other end of the hallway, and then I'm gonna, like, stage whisper really loudly. Psst, psst.
To who?
Sal.
Salvador jumps. Ah!
Shut the fuck up.
What? Who's there? You chose the dumb one! You chose the dumb one!
Fuck.
You dumb twink. How
I'm
dare
hearing
you?
voices!
It's Nyla, shut the fuck up!
Oh, it's Nyla. But, shh. Nyla, did you die and become a ghost?
No, I'm invisible, shut up!
You can do that? I've never seen you do that.
It's a relatively new talent.
Asher, she's invisible!
Shut up!
Asher's like, wow. It's a miracle you made it out of the Shadowfell.
Ariazis looks like really pained at him like, we know.
She, like, looks at all of it, she's like, you're right, this was a bad idea. I should not have talked to Sal. What a bad,
Really
what a
shouldn't
bad
have.
idea. I just thought he might be the most calm, but it was just a terrible idea.
No.
He would be the most calm, he'd also be the stupidest.
Yeah. Shemeskia's still around here somewhere. I saw her, and I don't know what's going on, so we gotta be real careful.
Oh, y'all, you don't even want to know, Nyla. It was so
Oh,
bad.
God.
You missed the whole thing.
Later.
Ariazis and Selwyn are in a fight. He's like not listening.
Oh yeah, that's the worst thing. Okay, Sal.
Yeah, that's definitely the worst part for him.
Jesus. Well, here's the deal. I'm about to break y'all out of here, okay?
How? This place is full of guards.
I am gonna go. I'm gonna steal the keys, and then I'm gonna cause a distraction.
Don't you have lockpicks?
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, you're a rogue.
You can unlock the door.
And it's only the first part of the plan. The second part of the plan is gonna involve a lot more fire.
Oh god.
And
dear.
I feel like I should warn. Actually, Salvador's going to warn. He's like, Nyla, if we get into a fight, we're not going to be just fighting some random undead monster. We are going to be fighting city guards for Waterdeep. If we do this, whether or not we are successful, we will never be able to go to Waterdeep ever again. We will be wanted.
Y'all may never be able to go. I'm really good at disguises, so it's not really a problem for me.
Nyla.
Okay,
It's
well,
not a
what is
good
your
plan.
what is your alternative here? Because we are not getting out of this fucking cell. Like, how else are you gonna get out?
I'm sure if once we have the opportunity to explain ourselves in the court of law,
I just, like, I know
they will
if you-
understand the
right now-
situation.
But I'm putting my hand up in front of your face. Like, I know you can't see that, but
Yeah,
it's right up in front of your face, and I'm making a little, like, you know, that talking motion, and then where it stops, that's what I'm doing.
This isn't nearly as effective as it would be if I could see you.
Well, that's not gonna happen. So, she says, Escher, you're a voice of reason here. I gotta get y'all out somehow. You're gonna be locked in the cell forever. If they didn't believe you, and you look like you, then you're gonna be in trouble.
Escher hesitates, and he says, "This is a really high-risk situation. Salvador's not wrong, Nyla." He says, "Look, this is gonna sound really dumb, and you all are probably gonna laugh at me the moment I say this, but I have prayed to Lathander, and maybe that will work."
Nyla speaks up.
You're right, it does sound pretty stupid.
And I'll just reiterate, I know you can't see me, but I'm rolling my eyes real loud right now.
So I was like, again, this would be a lot more effective if we could see you.
Okay, well, you can't, so shut up.
You should get out while you can, Nyla.
Don't
get caught.
Look, do you know how much energy it took for me to not just hightail it out of the city and come back for y'all? I had a whole...
We really do appreciate that. We really, really do, but how are we supposed to sneak out? I don't have invisibility.
Why am I the only one with invisibility? What a bad plan from all your part. I was gonna
exactly talk over our what do we do if we get arrested by the city guard plan.
It's a part of every one of my plans. Oh man, y'all have so much to learn.
Escher says, "All right, look, give it at least a couple hours, because to have a distraction big enough for us to really slip out of here, it's gonna take something to call every single member of the city guard to one place all at once. And I think it's... Listen, again, you're gonna laugh at me, but I do have faith in this plan. Not just because I'm a cleric and I'm supposed to have faith, but because Lathander kind of owes me."
Oh yeah, didn't he say he raised Lathander?
He's
Lathander's dad!
I mean, I'm not exactly... it's not important. He just kind of owes me a solid. Give it a couple hours, wait outside, and... If we don't get out soon, then yeah, okay, I agree. Make some kind of big disturbance, maybe right outside the building or something, okay? I'd rather not kill innocent city guardsmen if I can avoid it.
I hate this plan. I came all the way back in here. I burnt my invisibility spell. Ugh.
Salvador reaches out. He tries to grab your hand, but then remembers that you're invisible and doesn't know where you are. And he's like groping, and then he grabs something, and it's like your ear. He's like, "Oh, sorry." Eventually, he finds your shoulders, and he puts his hands on your shoulders, and he says, "Nyla, I cannot overstate how proud I am of you, and I'm so thankful that you came to help us." He says, "But you're no help to anyone if you yourself get caught or captured or anything like that. So you got to preserve yourself, okay? For us."
This is the most confusing thing that you have ever said to me, and I don't know how to deal with it. But
I'm gonna try to hug you. I'm sorry if I poke you in the eye. He tries to hug you.
He pokes me in the eye.
Sorry.
Smash your face against the desk.
I'm sorry.
Keep your voice down.
Just you guys make a real loud noise if somebody comes over this way. And okay, fine. I will go outside and I will wait for a couple hours. But if some miracle doesn't happen and some, blazing chariot from the sky doesn't come down in the shape of the sun and save y'all, I am going to cause a giant fire, and then we are going to get the fuck out of here.
He says, "Okay, well, maybe not a fire. That might be actually dangerous and cause a lot of people physical and bodily harm."
Well, I will cause the illusion of a giant fire. I'm going to do something.
"Okay, be careful, Nyla."
"Oh, I know exactly what I'm gonna do." And she goes away.
Oh no.
So it's like, does anyone else have like a weird sense of foreboding dread?
Oh yeah, just
All
a little
the
bit,
time.
Nyla goes to steal a dress.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Give it to Sassy. Give it to Sassy.
Nyla,
Yeah.
as you are leaving, just before you reach the door, you hear a scream from outside.
Fuck.
Crap.
People, you turn just around the corner to look out the door, and you see people in a nearby town square screaming and fleeing in all directions. And out from the chaos, this enormous 15-foot metal thing comes stomping down the road.
Shit.
Run back, let us out.
Oh god.
Let's have everyone just roll initiative right now and get this out of the way.
Just, that's fair.
Nyla, you are first up in the order. The golem is storming down the street toward the jailhouse.
Oh, fuck. What are the guards doing?
The guards have not yet noticed, although you don't imagine it would take very long until they do.
Okay, I'm gonna sprint back into the cell because I need to warn them that it's coming.
Remind them that it's coming.
All right, you sprint back into the cell. So that is going to take up most of your action. Roll stealth to see if anyone notices the invisible person. Invisible is not intangible.
Oh God.
Nope. Definitely you draw you knock over a chair on your desperate bid back in.
Shit.
And the guards are definitely starting to notice. They're like, what the hell is that? But you make it back to the cell within your turn. What do you say?
Golem, here, now!
Yeah, we had a little heads up.
It's an iron golem. Be careful, it does poison damage too.
It does what?
Poison!
It breathes poison!
Well, fuck, we gotta get y'all out of here now.
Yes, please.
Selwyn, you are next up in the order. Is there anything you want to do on this turn that you can do?
I got nothing I can do, I don't think. Oh, wait,
You trying to bust out of the cell at all?
With what? My +3 to sleight of hand?
No, not like lockpick it. I mean, like, bust out. I mean, like, physically.
With her 9 strength?
Oh, man. I forgot that you're stupid weak.
A squishy wizard, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use the Eldritch Invocation Armor of Shadows on myself, which allows me to...
Copy paste that and read aloud.
Yeah. So this allows me to cast Mage Armor on myself at will without expending a spell slot or components.
Mage Armor gives you +2? Or...
No, Mage Armor is base AC becomes 13 plus Dex.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so you become... That's 16 now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Noise.
Alright, that's your turn. It is Escher's turn.
And duration is 8 hours on that.
Yeah, you're
not
fine.
Concentration. So
Let's see, what can Escher do? He is going to cast Death Ward on Salvador, because Salvador is the only person he can reach. And he certainly doesn't need it. Next up in the order is Ariazes. Anything you want to do? You can still hear the golem stomping, and now the guards are starting to realize what's happening.
Oh boy. Are we all shackled?
No, you're not shackled, you're just in cages.
In cages, okay. Is there a stone wall anywhere?
There are 3 of them.
Interesting. Very interesting. Because I have stone shape, so I can make a thing.
Yes, do it.
I can make a
Excellent.
hole through the wall.
If you
Wait, it has to be no more than 5 feet in any dimension.
I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is that it is definitely less than 5 feet thick. The bad news is if you think they haven't thought about magic proofing a jail in a fantasy land, you're out of your mind. There is definitely some enchantment that nullifies any magic that would affect the bars or the the walls or the floor.
That's just I can't morph into anything because it's such a small space. All right, what else do I have?
It's not that small. There's room for a bear.
Oh yeah, of course there is.
Says the one who's not smashed up against it.
Right. I was like, Selwyn's in there. They just fought. I mean, I want to make things worse. Okay, so, she's going to cast Barkskin on herself then. Like, just smack herself.
All right, what does Barkskin do?
Makes my AC. It can't be less than 16.
Okay.
Let's see. I'm trying to see if there's anything small I can morph into. You know what?
Don't morph right away. I mean, you can hold it.
I know. I can't hold it. I'm just trying to see. That's like her first instinct. It's like, morph!
Yes, you only have one more shape spell, right? Because you used...
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're right. Okay, never mind then. Yeah. So she's just gonna, barkskin herself and then, I guess, get ready with her staff. Like, all right.
All right, Salvador is up next. Salvador... We ickle Salvador. He's gonna... I guess he only has one more level 1 spell slot, but I guess that's fine. Like, he doesn't really... He's gonna use Bless. Escher is fine, so he's going to affect himself, Ariazis, and Selwyn. He can't see Nyla, so he can't cast it on Nyla. So yes, you all have a d4 that you can add to an attack roll or a saving throw for the next minute. Use it well. Next up in the order is the golem. The golem appears in the doorway to a great sound of consternation. Like they noticed you, Nyla, but then they got super, super distracted by the 18-foot tall golem that suddenly busted the door down. Most guards scream and run. A couple of them try to stand their ground because this is their job. They're supposed to defend the city. Let me just double check how many hit points guards have.
Oh no.
Guards have 11 hit points.
Don't make me feel bad for the guards.
Yep, alright. It kills 2 guards.
Ah.
And then uses the rest of its turn stomping down the hallway. Nyla, we're back up to the top of the order with you.
I am picking a fucking lock.
Alright, roll a sleight of hand check.
And I guess the question is, who am I picking?
That's a good question. Escher is probably more strategically useful to you than anyone else.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I'm going to be doing that one.
A 27, Jesus.
Wow.
Just
Yeah,
makes,
I was gonna set the DC super high, but I can't justify you rolled a 27.
Right.
All right. Yeah, I mean a 27 does it. Yeah. Okay. The door swings open on Escher's and Salvador's door, and Escher is definitely gonna be the first person to jump out and put himself between the squishies and the giant metal golem. Next up in the order is Selwyn.
Okie dokie.
You still cannot see Nyla. You still are trapped, but it's your turn if you want to do anything.
Well, first off, can I make a Arcana check to see what I know about iron golems in particular?
Sure.
Cool.
Mimi.
That's really... I can finally hear her.
I
Wow.
know.
Normally I only hear her in playbacks. I don't know.
26. Yeah, golems are a construct, so like all constructs, they will have an immutable form, which means you cannot alter their shape with magic or any other way. You probably also can't charm them, exhaust them, scare them, anything like that. They are as close to machines as it gets in Faerun. Okay. This one has a really big sword. I never showed you guys the wonderful, very good
you did
picture.
not. Oh, wow, okay.
Oh.
So it's a giant mecha. Nice.
Very big sword.
It has a very, very large sword, yes. And indeed, you can see...
large sword.
You can see places on its face where, for example, it might pour forth poisonous gas, for example. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Yes, hang on.
You can see it now, so you could cast True Strike.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I was like, Shirashika told us the important stuff, such as it breathes poison and then
breathing poison. I am not particularly worried about making noise at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and just cast Shatter.
Okay.
It's metal, so it should have disadvantage on the saving throw.
Which is a con? Dex?
Yeah, con.
Oh, fuck me.
Oof.
Oh, come on!
It still takes half damage, so that's not nothing. Ooh, 6 damage.
Not nothing,
Ooh,
but
fun.
pretty close to nothing.
Yeah, let me see if there's a bonus action I can do real quick.
Raven Queen.
I can't use it!
Oh,
It
that's right, I
resets
forgot.
at dusk and it's night!
Whoopsies.
How many more times do I have to explain night?
At least one more.
Yeah, man, I don't know what fucking time of the day it is in campaign. What are you talking about?
It's something that we definitely do not pay enough attention to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, she's not wrong. The Starlight Jamboree would have started after dusk, so...
No,
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
mean,
That's
that's
literally
Starlight,
called
yeah.
Starlight.
legitimate point.
Right.
I'm going to cast Sanctuary on Sal, because that's a bonus action.
What's the radius, the distance on...
30 feet.
Okay. I mean, Sal already has Death Ward, so he's probably
Oh,
all
no,
right.
that's true. No, that's true. Hang on.
But this thing is definitely going to try to kidnap him.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's what happened last time, so yeah.
I guess the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to summon my packed weapon, which is the Night Staff.
Yay!
Okie dokie, Artichoke.
come on.
I can think of at least one way you can definitely kill the iron golem.
Don't do that.
There might be some collateral damage, but it's probably fine.
We don't need this trauma in our life right now.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Alright, that's Selwayn's turn. We are back up to the top of the order, or not the top of the order. We're back to Escher. Escher, he's trying to save his 9th level spell slot, cause he's pretty sure, like, he can take this golem. It's probably fine. So he's going to... He has Firestorm, but Firestorm's a really dangerous spell.
I know.
That's
Start a fire, just when I want it.
I think Flame Strike might be the better option. Alright, so it needs to make a dex save, and it has a -1. Nope. Woof.
Woo! Ooh, alright, Escher.
Yep, he is quite a beef boy. That's Escher's turn, and he also is going to slat himself between the golem and Salvador and Nyla, although he's not entirely sure where Nyla is, but she's somewhere in the vicinity of behind him.
Yes, fair.
And he can take more hits than she can, so she's gonna do that. Ariazis, it's your turn.
Oh boy, there's not a lot I can do other than morph. There's really not.
no spells.
Oh, I'm looking like touch spell. I mean, I can't run up to it. It's too far.
You could summon something, can't you?
Yeah, that's the only.
Mental?
The only thing I can do is either summon or call lightning. Can't do that. That's too dangerous. My options are limited to, like, I can't call a fucking thing of lightning in here.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I think the only thing I can do is, I guess I'll just conjure an animal because I really want to save the. I only have one more wild shape left.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what animal shall we bring into
Bear.
the ring?
Bear.
Yeah,
Bear.
I mean, if a bear can fit, I guess that's what's gonna happen. Sure,
I
let's
feel like I'm getting a DM hint here.
I know. I kind of feel like
It's
that.
not a
too.
hint. I want a bear. I want
Right.
bears all the time.
She's just like, okay,
It's my
polar
default
bear, go!
state.
She summons a polar bear.
Hell yeah! A big fluffy polar bear appears in the hallway.
Escher suddenly wonders how the hell he got in here.
Can it attack?
Polar bear's like-
I think it goes after you in initiative order, so it just can,
Right.
it can attack, yeah?
Yeah, it has multi-attack, bite and claw, so +7 to hit.
Bear's gonna die horribly.
You know what? That's fine as long as Ariazis is like a little woozy from all that blood, so you know.
Oh, it was 2 vials, you're fine. That does not hit. That is also not a hit, no. The bear does his best, but, like, you can see his claws rake across it, but it's metal.
Oh, that's a terrible sound.
Yeah, it's metal, and
It's
it's gonna take a little bit more than that. A 3 and a 4, it's gonna take more than that. It is Salvador's turn. Salvador is free from, being in the cage, but that doesn't help him over much. I was gonna say he could banish it. No, he can't. He's already concentrating. Oh, Spirit Guardian. He is gonna cast Spirit Guardians. That's a spell he's never used before.
Nice.
It is very useful. It's a good spell. You call forth spirits to protect you. They flit around you to a distance of 15 feet for the duration. If you are good or neutral, their spectral form appears angelic or fey. They appear fey. If you are evil, they appear fiendish. When you cast a spell, you can designate any number of creatures you can see to be unaffected by it. He's just going to designate everyone who's not the golem. An affected creature's speed is halved in the area, and when the creature enters the area for the first time on a turn and starts there, it must make a wisdom saving throw, and then it takes some damage. So yeah, that should help against, like, he's anticipating it now. The thing is going to pick him up, so he might as well just be like, hey, fuck you. And this is
Fuck you.
This is not a concentration spell, so it's just up to 10-minute duration. Now it's the golem's turn. It is going to lay the smackdown on Escher. Well, actually, yeah, this is gonna probably affect, probably not Nyla, because Nyla's way in the back. She just unlocked the door, but it was probably going to affect Salvador and Escher. Although it would avoid Salvador, wouldn't it? Because it wants him alive. But Escher defo needs to make a con saving throw. Wow. All right, well done,
Oh, man,
well done,
no
Escher.
Jesus.
So instead of taking 45 poison damage, he's only going to take 5d8. Escher takes 27 points of damage, but he's fine. He's fine. Alright, and then it is also going, and it does not count as an action for the golem, so he's also going to try to do a real good hit on Escher. That's a hit. Wow. So those both hit, so Escher is going to take an extra of 43 points of damage.
Woof.
Yeah. He's standing, but that really hurt a lot. And then as his final action, he's going to try to grab Salvador, but he's going to have to make a, what kind of save is it? A wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
His wisdom mod is nothing. And a 1 is not... So no, he's going to take 3d8 and his speed is halved.
Ooh.
That's handy.
It is handy. Alright, that was the golem's turn. Nyla, we're back to the top of the order with you, my darling.
She's gonna look frantically between the cages and the golem.
Salvador's like, oh god, just unlock the cage!
Oh god.
Salvador, who
okay.
is now slung over the golem's shoulder, by the way. But he's used to that by now.
It would be useful.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna try to pick the locks at Nyla. Or no, I'm Nyla. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna try to pick Ariaz's and Sylvan's. Woof! Oh man. Ooh, that's not great.
A 21 probably actually isn't going to do it. Not for these locks. These are very nice locks.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
I think I just wasted a turn.
Oh no.
Yeah, 21 is not good enough. Not for these very good, very, very good city use locks.
You hear cursing. Lots of fucking curse. Like, this is the first lock I think I've actually failed to pick so far, so she's really pissy about it.
So, like, the lock is, like, shimmying in midair, and you're cursing.
She's like, motherfucking, damn it!
Like,
Salvador, who is slung over the gold shoulder, is like, we all have off days now, it's alright.
Shut up! Hold
You're
on,
being
hold on.
kidnapped.
I'm gonna get you out of here, I promise. I'm gonna get you out.
Oh, it's fine. I'm kind of used to this by now. Next up in the order is Solane.
Okie dokie. I am going to... I'm gonna cast Witch Bolt as a level 2.
Okay. Go ahead and make a roll to hit.
Ranged spell attack.
10 is not going to do it.
Cool. Yeah, I have like none of my bonus action spells prepared. That's helpful.
Yep, we all roll bats.
Nyla, can you put your rapier somewhere near me so I can touch it? I can make it magic again.
Slide it on down.
I guess I can on my next turn.
So this is a DM question. Can I prepare that spell and as soon as it touches my hand, cast it?
Preparing a spell is... You can't prepare a spell. It's a bonus action,
It's
however.
not like readying an action or anything?
Like, hold it, you mean?
Yeah, because right now, you do not... like, normally, like, she's on the opposite side of a barred door, right? And if she were visible, you could totally just reach across and, because it's a bonus action, just catch it. But you do not know where she is, and that would take an action to, like, hunt around and try to find it.
Right.
So no, not on this turn.
Okay.
Yeah, there's probably some mechanical thing about that. My instinct is to say probably not.
Yeah, that's fine. It's a question.
Yeah. Next up in the order is Escher. Escher is like, this kid really is a liability. Seems like just every time. I think
Yeah.
bad.
You're not wrong!
Salvador's like, sorry,
You're not wrong.
sorry, I don't mean to.
The last thing he wants to be is an inconvenience.
Alright.
Alright, Salvador's like, alright, he cracks his knuckles and he says, let's give this a shot. He's gonna cast Banishment.
Woohoo!
This probably won't last very long and he might beat the saving throw, but let's find out. Needs to make a charisma save. His charisma is -5.
I was gonna say, is he a charming golem?
He is not, no. -2.
Oh my god, man!
Alright, so abruptly, the golem pops out of vision for a minute, and Salvador crashes onto the floor. And
7
actually,
feet up.
yeah,
Ouch.
so he's actually going to take 1d10 damage falling on his butt.
Oh.
Ow! But yeah, the golem is gone now. It's hooray!
Yay! Get us out of here.
For a while, for a time.
I'm gonna keep trying to pop their lock.
Yeah. We're still in initiative order. There's a specific amount of time this will work.
Yeah. Okay.
It lasts for 6 rounds exactly.
Okay.
So Ariazes, you are first up. The golem just disappeared. Is there anything you want to try to do?
I really don't have.
You can
anything.
command the bear to do something as well. Maybe the bear can ram the door.
Yeah, that's true. I could command the bear. Yeah, other than like protect Selwyn, like that's all I can do. It's like, okay, it's gone. Bear, door, please.
The bear goes whoa and he wants to be a good boy.
Yeah.
So the bear needs to make a dexterity saving, or not a strength check. Strength check,
Okay.
not a saving.
You're
throw.
gonna have this bear. I'm trying to pop this lock right now, and you're just gonna wreck all my work with a bear.
You have
It
6
doesn't
rounds.
work, Nyla. You're not. It's not fast enough. All right, so it needs to make a strength save.
Strength check, not save.
Oh, strength check. Okay, well, it's +5 strength. Ew.
Unfortunately, a 15 is not going to do it. It does its very, very best, and it makes a heart little bear noise when it rams into it and nothing happens.
Nyla laughs maniacally. You
Nyla,
thought
you're
a
not
bear
helping.
could do what a trained thief can't.
Salvador, it's Salvador's turn. We are 3 of 6, by the way.
Oh, so wait, did Sal banish or did Escher banish?
Escher banished.
Okay, so
Yep. Salvador is up next. He is going to get as far away as possible from where the golem was. He's going to duck behind Escher, because, might as well put the strong one between the golem and himself.
Right.
the stronger twink.
The stronger twink, yes, objectively stronger. How's he doing on hit points? He's doing okay. But Escher, on the other hand, is not looking great. So Salvador is going to use up his 5th level spell slot to try to heal Escher, because Escher, he took a lot of hit points, a lot of damage just now.
Woo.
Escher regains 36 hit points.
Nice.
And Salvador's like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry you're hurting. I do not like it when people are hurting. Alright. It is it's not the golem's golem's not in this plane of existence.
I was like, wait a
presently.
minute.
Nyla, you have 2 more rounds.
Okay.
Make that sleight of hand check.
Motherfucker.
Nope.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Nyla's getting progressively more exasperated.
Salvador's like, it's
Motherfucking
okay,
golem.
we all have off days.
I do not have off days. I don't know what you're talking about.
Selwyn, you're up. Do you have any bright ideas?
My only bright idea is use Misty Step to get out of here, but I'm sure that it's been spelled against that.
I mean, yeah, probably.
They're like, keep a wizard locked up, easy peasy.
Yeah. Could I try using Eldritch Blast against the either the hinge or the lock?
Can you is Eldritch Blast
Yeah.
a roll to hit?
It is.
Can you copy paste it really quick?
Yep,
just
I'm working on it.
Force damage. I was gonna say if it was something like necrotic damage, I'd say no, but
Right.
because it is force damage, yeah, all right. Go ahead and make a roll to hit.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, a 19 does it. How much damage does it do? Because I know you're not a 5th level anything, but you have a combined number of 5th levels.
I think it would just take the lowest, but I'd give that call to you.
I mean, I don't know how
Because this is my warlock casting, so I don't know that I can apply anything from wizard to warlock in this case.
Yeah, if you're casting it as a warlock, then probably just the lowest. So go ahead and roll 1d10.
Oh.
Two.
Well, it is a door.
Well, it definitely hits it, and you can see the metal warp a little bit. So Nyla, next time you try to unlock it, you're going to have advantage.
Oh, sweet.
If we ever get
Yay.
there.
it is Escher's turn, and right at the start of his turn, the golem reappears.
Cool.
And Escher's like, great job, team! Good job, everyone. Y'all did a great job.
I'm working on it.
I don't appreciate the sarcasm.
If you want to pick this lock, you can try it.
Did you try praying the lock away?
You know what? He's going to use his...
He's gonna leave us.
I don't have to be here. I could just leave.
It's a good thing that he's sworn to Lathander.
Also that he's a gossip.
Speaking of Lathander, a great angel appears above the golem as he casts Guardian of Faith.
Yeah.
And the golem needs to make some kind of check, probably. Yeah, it needs to make a dex check.
Oh, I'm sure it's very dexterous. You know, it's a giant
Yeah.
thing.
Alright, so it's... The creature takes 20 radiant damage on assailed. Okay, so it takes 20 damage. Alright, and this angel appears over it, and it's not going to move. It's going to stay right where it is. Next up in the order, Ariazes. You still have your bear.
I still have my bear. I was like, otherwise I have to morph. I guess I could have it rem again, but I don't know if Nyla's still there. It might hit her. Let's just have it do that. Like, try one more time.
Okay, may have it make a strength check. With advantage, because Selwyn did do some damage to the
that's
actual
right.
lock. Unbelievable.
Oh!
For our listeners at home, that was 2 natural ones in a row.
We are not Crit Fail Club for nothing.
This bear is really doing his best. He's trying so hard. He's doing his very best, but it's just, he can't do it. He's just too dumb. Alright, that's all you can do on your turn.
Yep.
It is Salvador's turn. Salvador is really running low on spell slots. He is going to... No, he doesn't want to... Like, normally he'd be like, oh, I'll go spare the lives of the guards that it killed, but he would have to run past the golem to do that. So,
probably not a good idea.
That's probably not a good idea. Yeah, he's really running low on spell slots. I guess he'll use his last level 3 to cast Guiding Bolt on it. Yeah, 26 is...
Woo!
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Alright, Guiding Bolt, so that's 46, 5d6, 66. Takes 15 points. Oh, damage. Alright. Alright, next up in the order is the golem. So the golem is starting to realize that this skinny little cleric twink in front of him probably has to be dealt with before he can get his quarry. That's a hit. Alright, that's a total of 43 hit points to Escher. He's getting quite low.
Oh, shit.
I mean, for a level 17 cleric. Nyla, you have advantage.
Okay, also I just
Check
realized
this
that I can
out.
actually do it, the thing as a bonus action too, so...
Right.
But only if I have to cast a spell, so I'm gonna not be invisible anymore, so I don't want to do it, but... So, let's see, hopefully this works.
Oh boy.
Okay.
What's your bonus? What's your bonus? You forgot to add your bonus.
It's plus 11, doesn't make a difference in this case. Okay, I'm gonna cast Mage Hand as a bonus action and use that to pick the lock too, so I'm gonna get another try.
Alright, you no longer are invisible.
Yep. Motherfucking...
You have advantage on this one too.
Oh, good.
Any attempt against it has advantage. Oh my god.
Holy
no.
shit!
Unbelievable.
Oh my god,
Like,
every
literally
time!
incredible. I cannot credit this.
I would love to morph into something, but I'm stuck in this cell.
Look at this shit. 8, 4, 10, 3.
God.
Ember,
Oh, Ember, it's your turn.
Yeah.
you took a expedited route to Waterdeep, which is to say you browbeat Baku until they agreed to teleport you to Waterdeep.
Right.
Checks out.
Vasha helped convince Baku to do this.
Oh yes, Vasha is here as well. You are heading through Waterdeep, a city that you know pretty well. Like, you don't go there all the time, but you've been there a couple times. It's a nice city. They have a really big church dedicated to Lathander, so you... as you are heading up the street to this jail, that the angel told you about, you hear quite a consternation, and also you see 2 dead guards.
I take off running.
Yeah, no, I'm right after you.
I've got my sword out and I'm running.
You sprint through the streets, you step over the corpses of no less than 4 dead civilians and guards.
How the fuck, Esther? How the fuck did you manage this time? Come on, I don't even know how you managed to get yourself into these goddamn situations. Forgive me, Lord.
Goddamn, I'm sorry, Lathander.
You bust your way into the jail, and you see quite a tableau in front of you. You see this enormous, like 18 foot tall iron golem with its back to you. Standing in front of it is an Escher who looks very, very wounded. He has 2 very large wounds across his chest and stomach, but he is standing his ground against this golem in front of a bunch of the adventurers that were making your life so miserable and that indirectly killed your friend.
Wow.
Escher and Vasha, you have joined the order.
Hey.
I mean, Ember and Vasha. It's happening again. It's happening
It's
again.
always gonna happen.
It's always...
So, do I have to roll an initiative there?
No, I'm just going to add you at the end of the order.
Okay.
Who's up first?
Um,
It's probably Vasha. It's not me. Who are we joking?
technically, it was just the end of Nyla's turn. So,
Okay.
Selwyn, it's your turn. You see 2 familiar faces at the end of the hallway.
Help!
Ember is scowling ferociously, like, what the fuck did you get into this time?
It's a really long story. And
Yeah, we are kind of sorry about your husband. Only
we're extremely
You're gonna
sorry.
be You're gonna
very
be very
sorry. Yes, you're right.
Now that I can see Nyla, I reach through and I cast magic weapon on her rapier. So
Okay.
It's a magical
Nyla?
weapon plus 1 bonus to attack and damage.
All right, Nyla, your rapier is magical now.
Awesome.
Can
Bonus
someone get us out, please?
I'm working on it. Very delicate.
Someone who's not a bear, she glares at the polar bear.
The polar bear is doing his best!
And then I'm also gonna try to do Witch Bolt again.
Okay, roll to hit.
I'm gonna cast it as 2nd level. Hey!
Oh, it's a natural
20!
20! That's double damage, my friend.
Sweet, 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 sweet! Okay. So it takes 1d12 lightning damage.
You said you cast level 2, and then it's double, so it would be 4d12 total.
Yep.
Ooh.
Ooh, big money, no whammies.
Yes.
Come on.
Oh,
Yes!
That's a good hit.
That's a hit and a half. That's 35 points of damage. Yeah. Ouch. It does
Kick its ass.
not like that.
Yes. Yeah, that's okay.
Escher says, "Good hit, darling." It's his turn now. He is also kind of running low on spell slots, but compared to Salvador, he has quite a lot. So, all right, he's going to use his last level 5 spell slot and cast Flame Strike on it. Needs to make a Dex save. 12 was not going to do it. Alrighty. Alrighty. That is Escher's turn. Ariazis, you're up next.
Still locked up.
Yep.
I guess
Go for
I'll-
something strong. Go for
Yeah, I was
something
like, I guess
strong.
I'll morph.
Just
Like
do
that's the
it.
only thing I have left to do.
I get out of the way.
Apparently, Nyla's lockpicking skills have been cursed for 1,000 years. So,
Right.
So
It's like,
cute.
Nyla, just move, stop, it's okay, I will. And then she turns into a giant elk.
all
She's
right.
gonna ram the door with her horns.
All right, make an attack roll.
Selwyn ducked to avoid that.
Ooh, it's a dirty 20. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
All right, that is 11 bludgeoning damage.
11 extra damage. Does it? The lock splinters in half. The shards go flying in opposite directions, and the door swings open with a groan.
Motherfucker.
Congratulations!
Finally.
You got out.
It is Salvador's turn. He sees Ember and Vasha's like, oh, thank God they're here! He is extremely low on spell slots.
Oh, the bear. There's still the polar bear, which is still there. It's not going to do anything. Can it try to attack?
You can try to attack.
Yeah, it can
Sure.
attack.
All right.
It
I
has
forgot
to.
about that.
It has to hit a 20, but
Yeah, I know exactly. I was like, She just kind of like
Very
looks at it.
crowded cell right now.
Right. As a giant elk, she looks at it like makes disapproving elk noises at it.
All right, one of them finally hits. It finally makes a hit.
Yay! The claw hits for 12 slashing damage. It's magical too. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's because it's not me.
Oh, in that case, it does half damage. Okay, so that's 6.
So we're gonna just have to canonically say that Mimi is like a cat that is just in this jail freaking out.
No, it's the
She's
sound
gonna
of
be
the
all
door
over this
swinging.
recording.
The door has been swinging for quite some time now, is the only problem. Ember, it is your turn. You are standing at the end of the hallway. Your fiancé does not look... Or your fiancé, your husband. Your husband...
It was like, what?
Your husband does not look great. If you had to guess, you'd say he is well below half hit points.
I activate the light on the sun sword, so it appears all fucking lightsaber style.
And she's
I
like,
go,
hey, babe.
hey babe, get the fuck away from my husband! And I'm gonna cast Banishing Smite.
All right, do whatever that needs to do. Does he need to make a save, or do you need to roll to hit?
Well, so it's gonna depend on what damage this does, so...
Crackles with force, additional 5d10 force damage. Holy crap. If this reduces the target's to 50 hit points or fewer, you banish it. Yeah, I mean, unless you do less than 2 damage, yes, you're gonna... Which,
Right.
this is Ember. Ember never does less than, like, 40 damage.
Right, exactly.
Not even possible.
37 damage?
No, 37 to hit.
Oh, a 37 to hit. Okay. I'm glad you clarified, because... Yeah, that,
Okay, good.
Oh boy.
44 points. I mean, it doesn't kill it, but it gets really, really close, and it banishes.
Excellent.
How long does that... Is
I
it
put it up there.
until the spell ends? Concentration up to 1 minute. Okay.
1 minute, okay.
Alright, so the golem vanishes again.
I just like, because Ember doesn't know that he already did that, so it's kind
Right.
of...
Funny, yeah, that Escher did that, and then Ember did the same thing. Aw, they're married. Couple spells.
As soon as it disappears, he rushes up to Escher and he goes, babe, are you okay? Do you need...
Escher has 40 hit points.
Fuck.
So no, he's not doing great, but he's like, hey, it's great to see you. That spell, trust, from experience, I know that spell doesn't last forever. The guards finally have marshaled enough resources to sort of form a very wide berth around all of you. And the guards are all sort of muttering to themselves like, hey, you guys are prisoners, so you need to get back into your cells.
Ember stands up in all of his
Thing is
6
coming back. Are you kidding?
Ember like steps up really close to like whoever said that and like gets all up in his fucking face and says, I am Lord Ember Tremaine, savior of this plane, and that is my husband. Are you really going to try to tell me to get back into a cell?
Escher is sitting. This is the guy that called himself the Queen of Waterdeep. And so Escher is standing just behind Ember with like this shit-eating grin, just like waving daintily to him, and the guard is realizing he fucked up. Like, oh, did he fuck up? And the guard says, I
thought so.
The golem reappears.
So technically Ember has another attack. Can he attack it again?
Yeah, go ahead. See if you can kill it.
There we go.
Yeah, 35 is a hit. Yeah.
Sure is.
Well, I have good news. It only had 8 hit points left.
Yes!
So, after scaring literally the piss out of this guard, the golem reappears. Ember turns around, swings his light sword, the holy sun saber of Antioch, and just like cuts it down. And the guard is like, I'll get your discharge papers ready.
Excellent.
Asher's like, oh, I wouldn't dream of making the Queen of Waterdeep do that.
Vasha calls after them, and a formal written letter of apology.
Yep, of course. Anything you want.
Ember's gonna turn back. Are we out of initiative at this point?
Yes, you're out of initiative.
Yeah, okay, he's gonna turn back. He's gonna cast Lay on Hands on Escher.
That would not go amiss. He is... How much are you giving him?
All of it, 85.
85? That might be... I think that brings him... Yeah, that brings him back up to full. Everything gets cleaned up surprisingly expeditiously now that you have Lord Tremaine on your side. And wow, do things get cleaned up. It's amazing how quickly bureaucracy moves when someone powerful comes in and yells at you. You are all back at the Silent Shield. The room is a lot more crowded than it was last time. It's not the biggest room. But, yep, you are all sort of piled in together, and Escher who has been saving his 9th level spell slot, is kneeling on the ground in front of Salvador, who is sitting on the edge of the bed and holding his hands together in his lap. And Escher says, "You're really sure about this? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to do it, but I would like it if you could make up your mind soon, because I want to go home. I'm sick of this terrible city. I want to go back to Neverwinter."
Nyla kneels next to Sal, and she's like, Sal, I know I've been pushing you for this, but if you don't want to, you don't have to.
He kind of fidgets and he says, "Can we do the staff thing first? I need a minute."
We can always do the staff, Sal, but we need to let these shiny people go home.
Escher, like, very gently, like, puts his hands on Salvador's arms, looks meaningfully into his eyes, and he says, "I need to get the fuck out of Waterdeep. I hate this dumb city. I want to go home." And Salvador's like, "Yeah, okay. Point taken, yeah."
Sal, we'll all hold your hands. Everybody come over here. Let's hold Sal's hand.
Ariasis also offers her hand, like, "I can hold your hand too."
Yeah,
I only have 2 hands, but if I had 3, I'd hold all your hands at the same time.
Selwyn rests her hands on his shoulders.
So Escher leans in, he puts his hand on Salvador's head, and he mutters the incantation for Dispel Magic. On its own, Dispel Magic is a very simple spell, but the power that he needs to summon for it to be strong enough for what he wants it to do is quite significant. The air around Salvador shifts and warps and cracks almost visibly. And slowly you can, Selwyn at least, can detect the shards of this spell slowly falling away from him. And for a very, very, very long time, Salvador doesn't say anything.
Hesitantly, I would say, Ariazis asks in Druidic, "Are you okay?"
It takes Salvador a really long time to come up with an answer. By the time he does, the first thing that comes to his mouth is, "No, I'm not okay."
She, like, looks at everyone else and makes, like, a sad face, like, "Oh."
What language do you say it in?
He answers also in Druidic, because, she
Okay.
spoke to him in Druidic, it's polite.
Okay, so we all I stare. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know what they're saying either.
Well, he said he's not okay.
How can we help? What can we do?
He doesn't answer for a really, really long time. Again. The look on his face is difficult to name. It's an emotion that you've never seen Salvador wear before. It sits somewhere in the middle of shock, anger, and unbelievable ocean-deep grief. He lifts his eyes and he says, in sort of choked Elvish, "I don't think there's anything you can do."
Nyla leans over to Selwyn and says, "What did he say about a tomato?"
Oh, Nyla.
No, I quickly correct the translation. Well, I know you've told us there's nothing we can do right now, but you know that we're not going anywhere. Thick or thin, we're gonna be here for you. We've said that at the beginning, and it's true now.
He looks up at you thoughtfully and he asks, through anything? In Elvish.
Yes.
This scares Ariazi. She looks at Selwyn
He clarifies, anything.
I look hesitant because that's a very odd emphasis, but I steel myself and stand up straighter and say, yes, at least I will.
He says, well, it's good to hear you say that. I suppose I'll only know how true it is when the time comes, he says. And he stands up and he says, I'm going to kill my father.
I'm sorry, what?
Hey friends, it's your favorite DM, Tessa Crowley. Can't wait for the next episode? Good news, you can join our Discord server to download episodes in pre-release, weeks before anyone else, at bit.ly/cfcdiscord. If you want more information on the show, character sheets, and social media links, head to our website, critfail.club or critfailclub.com. Full episodes are available on our YouTube channel, bit.ly/cfcchannel, and wherever you get your podcasts.
One sec. I just heard a loud crash in my apartment, so hang on.
Well, Val's dead.
Oh no!
Wait, now? Oh gosh, every time.
Cancel the podcast.
Oh man.
I'm sure it was just Hiro. I hope so.
Can we just think of an elaborate story about how she died in the cell? Ariazi's words wounded her so deeply that she died on the spot.
God, no!
It was just like Romeo and Juliet.
That's not at all how Romeo and Juliet happened, but okay.
Yeah.
Well, afterwards, Ariazi's committed suicide, so.
Yeah, it was like Shmeshka's words come true. She is miserable for the rest of her life and dies immediately.